count to 3. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
You have found Daniel Donato's Lost Highway.
That lost highway.
Howdy, y'all. The Lost Highway podcast continues, episode 37. Last night, I watched a documentary called My Octopus Teacher, and I was made aware of a concept once more that my friend John Osborne of Brothers Osborne made to me, actually on our first podcast, episode 1, is that don't take all this too seriously. Understand your place in life. So if you're a musician, understand that you're simply a musician. There's a whole cacophony of sensory experience that is happening on this planet that we are just simply not aware of. This documentary is astounding. You have to go watch it. I'm not going to tell you everything about it, but I'm going to tell you what I took away from it. Is that, one, love exists in exponential amounts of mediums of expression that are beyond our mortal comprehension. Just so sincerely real. And then two, if you pursue a passion based out of curiosity with truth and consistency, you will yield the wonders of nature and the magic of the universe within your results. And you can get very non-abstract quantitative results, which are very crucial to have a consistent and persistent pursuit of a solid potential every day. But then two, you can also get these abstract meta concepts that come from your pursuit that will lead you into new ideas of discovery and new ways of thinking, which are all about it, right? If you're not growing, you are shrinking. Something I've been thinking a lot about lately in regards to music is the concept of simplicity. And I heard one of my favorite songwriters, Tom T. Hall, talk about when he's writing and he was coming up with his ideas for his songs or things would hit him, personal articles in his life. He said his job was to relate, to not create, but to relate. So relate, not create. That's really heavy. I think that implies that you lean on fuels that are not based on your ego intuitively. So you're not trying to be too extravagant in the things that you're saying and portraying, and you're actually trying to lean towards more of the cliches, more of the formalities. Because in truth, in essence, most things have been said, most things have been played, and most beats have been beated, if that's even an accurate verb for this setting. And man, I think it's a real thing. And that's something I've been thinking about just leaning on simplicity, leaning on where does the music want to go, where does the story want to go, lean on simplicity. There were many years with my guitar playing and my songwriting where I haven't wanted to lean on simplicity. I would actually turn away from a direction based off because it would be too cliche or it would be too predictable. But really, all we have time for in life is exploitative enjoyment. Very few points in life are we really investing time to go and explore. You're not going to go to McDonald's and be like, you know what? Put a whole different kind of sauce in that Big Mac and don't do fries. Let's do Brussels sprouts today. You'd be like, my God, you're literally what you expect is no more. And I think the same thing happens with music to some degree. Music isn't fast food, but music is a simple and tried and true concept, melodically speaking. Look at Pasha Bell's Canon in D. That's simply 4 chords, and people are always comparing pop songs that are to Canon in D. And let us not forget the most viral guitar video of all time, which was Canon in D, right? Bigger than any John Mayer's Slow Dancing in a Burning Room solo video. And it's those 4 chords are the most simple chords. I think there's something to look into when you react to something based off of it being too simple and predictable. I think what that might be, because I'm only seeing this within myself now, is that this is my ego not wanting to quite surrender to what I know really works for most people to enjoy and consume. So for all the creators out there, or the people who are maybe trying to decipher more of their taste and understand more of who they are, I think leaning into simplicity, leaning into an understanding that is not of your own but of a greater consciousness that's already been agreed upon, that's bigger than you, leaning into that force is a wise move. Nashville itself is in a very interesting place right now. I've been living here for over a decade, and the thing that I'm seeing a lot there's an emergence of artists that are being persistent to staying true to who they are and not really trying to conform based out of like fear that they won't be successful or anything like that. My friends Job Fortner and Ryan Nelson are artists that are leaning into who they are. Job has a voice that only one human on this earth really has. It's an astounding instrument. And the way that Ryan Nelson writes songs and gathers his life experience and puts it into music is very much so in that tradition of country music and American music where it's just honest and true to who that storyteller is. And I'm always tipping my hat to people who are staying true to who they are and are betting on the long term that is actually the run for success. And so this is us, two good friends of mine, two artists that I really respect and collaborators in which we've written several songs together. Very much so informally hanging out here at the Cosmic Country Cottage, talking about country music, talking about our life, talking about Halo, football, all kinds of shit. Hope y'all enjoy it. Are y'all walking around on some Halo recently? Are y'all playing that?
No, I haven't played Halo in forever, dude. If you wanna catch a loss, catch us on Rocket League, dude. That's where we're at.
Catch us on Rocket League.
Yes.
What is that even?
You never played Rocket League?
Wait. That's not like that song. Would you hand me that pipe?
Yes, it is exactly.
Hand me that pipe, that corn cob, and then hand me that cannabis.
Oh,
yeah, dude, we're gonna get this going off right.
Yes.
All right.
Indeed.
So listen, I'm being dead serious here. The last time I played a video game that I owned was probably 2011. Because when I started getting real serious about guitar, I sold all my shit.
Right. We play that game. Like he plays some Call of Duty. I don't even play video games really. I don't have a console or nothing. So
I don't either, man. I don't have patience for video games. Like,
you don't got a lighter?
Yeah, Ryan does. I don't have patience for video games, you know.
Ryan and that Ray's Rowdy's got that lighter.
Yeah.
So are y'all all living together right now?
No.
I live like right down the street from him and Nick.
Okay.
Like a mile away.
Okay. How long you been down here?
I've been here 6 years.
Holy shit.
In the same house.
You haven't moved once?
I haven't moved.
How's that possible? Do you own it?
No, I've just been renting it.
Well,
and like me and the landlord's a Florida guy. I'm from Florida. He's from Florida.
I was born in Florida.
Where are you really?
I was born in Bradenton, Florida.
No way.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's pretty over there. I've been over there.
Man, I don't remember any of it.
Yeah, it's real nice and beachy there.
So I know Tennessee is like, having grown up here, there's 3 distinct parts of Tennessee.
Right.
Right? Is Florida like that?
Absolutely so.
Right. And Georgia's like that.
I think it's more two big parts.
Yeah, I would say 2 big. Well, you could say Atlanta's its own thing.
Atlanta is its own thing.
With Atlanta, I think you have North Georgia, South Georgia, and Atlanta.
I think you're right. A lot of people divide it into just, like he's North Georgia, he's South Georgia. But like North Georgia, you're by Atlanta, and North Georgia, you're not by Atlanta are entirely different things. Yeah. For sure.
That's what Brent Cobb was telling me.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a stark difference in Georgia too. For sure.
Yeah. I would say.
But Florida's even crazier.
Three parts, probably.
Well, we have a different country in our state. You see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, man.
When you get to South America, when you get to South Florida, it's like almost more akin to being in the Latin, like American islands or in South America. Like it's got that thing going on. It's very Latino. You speak Spanish. If you don't speak any Spanish down there, I doubt you're from there.
You know what I mean? Spanish?
Oh man, really poorly. Really poorly.
Damn.
You know?
I never got why we had to get so good at Spanish in high school and then never use it. Never use it.
Right. I think it's just for making your mind more eclectic or something.
Bullshit though. I don't need that.
Yeah.
Especially when you teach it like shit.
Yeah.
And it's always some old lady who's like, all right, turn in your textbook to page 45 where we're going to learn about why we say the conjugations. And you're like, oh.
That was honestly really good.
Dude.
That was great. That was a great old lady teacher who's really done with her career.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got there so fast.
That was my actual Spanish teacher was that lady.
Yeah.
Like she was exactly like that. And it was... Man, it was terrible. I didn't learn shit about speaking Spanish from that.
Dude, I learned more Spanish roofing than anything. I can tell you.
Right.
We were just
for me, it was construction. My dad, he's a construction guy. Like having Mexican guys around, they're talking all the time, so you start to pick up like what different things, and you're like, oh, okay, that means this, obviously, and whatever.
Wow. Mm-hmm. My friend JD, so he's another singer-songwriter, JD Clayton, and he moved here from Arkansas with his wife, and he's 25, and his shit got rocked right when COVID started, so he had to start getting into construction, doing landscaping, and doing both things. And man, he says everyone speaks perfect Spanish.
Oh yeah, it's big.
You gotta learn how to speak Spanish and do that.
You pretty much
like,
do, yeah.
That's the crazy. I feel like in life, like you have to actually get out in the field and do shit in order to really know it. Like anything I've ever learned in school that life never challenged me with,
right?
I don't really remember.
You don't retain it because it has no use.
What's the use of? So it's like, why are we learning? Like, why are we not learning how to like find our passion, like write songs or like practice guitar, or like how to like network with people? Like,
right.
Teaching me Spanish.
Yeah, it's very strange. I think it's outdated.
It's a little outdated.
And it was developed in a more like utilitarian sort of mindset in American history.
Oh, how so?
Well, just when the public education system was really developed, where like across the nation, people were going to publicly funded schools on a regular thing. Like now, you can get arrested for like not having your kid in school. Truancy. Truancy's so like by the time that system, like the public education system, was put together, the like mindset in America was
that's there if y'all want it.
At least for the like the people who were making the education system was a utilitarian mindset of like, the most good for the most people, like fall in line, do your job. Like we work at factories, we do this and that, like know how to do your job well.
Right. And get it early.
And like know a little bit about a lot of things, somewhat, or what you think like a little about.
Did y'all go to college?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
did
I did
too. Yeah.
I never went to college.
No?
No.
I went to college.
What'd y'all go for?
I was an environmental science major. So
really
big outdoors guy. I miss it a lot for sure. I don't get to do that stuff anymore.
Why?
So, we're a little far from whitewater kayaking and stuff. Things that I got into. We got some hiking around here. I go out to Cane Creek Falls and stuff sometimes. But I mean,
Taylor McCall?
No.
Taylor was he was a fishing instructor out in Montana. And he's from North Carolina. Just great at it.
Yeah.
Just fly fishing.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Moves here, now he's writing songs.
Yeah. I can say I've never fly fished, though. That's not...
I wish I was good at it. It looks so fun, dude.
It looks hard as fuck.
It does. It's so much. Like fishing where I'm from, Florida, we just throw something that's like, like a shrimp or like something we just caught, and we just kind of chop it up and like throw it on the hook. We throw it out, and we just set the pole down at a pole holder, and you wait for that thing to start bobbing.
Come on back.
It might take 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It might happen in 2 minutes. It might happen in 20 minutes.
That's how it goes.
It might happen in 30 minutes. Yeah. And we're just leaving it out there. If it took you 30 minutes, you probably got something stolen off your hook. So you might want to try it out. But like,
that happens.
You sit it out there for a while, and then everyone just drinks beer and talks.
Yeah. I grew up on a river too.
So the idea
he grew up on a river too, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
My river's different than his.
Where he's at, that water flows and stuff. They gotta actually like get out there and like hold the pole the whole time and fish.
Yeah, we're bass fishing, catfishing, and that kind of.
Are y'all ever noodling? You know any noodlers?
Yeah, not really. No.
There was some crazy people who are going noodling.
Alabama. I mean, you follow Hannah Barron.
I just am scared to put my hand in a damn turtle's mouth and get my hand bit off.
Dude, if you get a snapping turtle, you're losing something.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying, man.
Something.
You're not
you
sure
are.
what it is.
It's gonna take a piece of your hand off your body
or something else.
That's what they're born to. Turtles are so much older than humans. Like they know what they're doing. They're gonna bite something off like they're born to.
Yeah,
they're gonna fuck you up.
That's literally how they get their food. Though, is you stick in your toe.
When you watch them chop, dude, like an onion or a potato or something, you see them fucking. And it's like, dude, that's what would happen to your hand.
You grab them with your feet, man. You grab them with your feet.
What you talking about? You grab them with your feet, dude.
That's how you noodle. You grab them with your feet.
No, I thought it was arm.
No. They're sticking their hand up in some of these catfish holes where they're like digging up like that.
They also get their body in there, dude, and grab them with their feet.
What
and
are you
pull them out.
talking about?
God.
You know
that's
what
how they do.
foot noodling?
You seen the old turtle man? He was catching turtles with his feet.
So you're talking about traditional noodling versus modern noodling.
I guess it just depends on how deep the hole is, or if you got a cage too, because they make cages where they just go out there, or boxes. I mean, where they basically create them a home, and then they do go in and get them. So, or it depends on how deep the hole is. If you got to put your whole body in there, I've definitely seen lots of footage people sticking their whole body in the side of a bank
No way.
and grabbing them with their feet. I'm like, no.
I am not doing
Well,
that.
I mean, these things make me money. I don't want them chopped off. You know, like I don't want these.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
I can't get hurt.
I can't hurt my hands any more than I already have. I'm like, I'm done hurting my hands.
I can limp around on stage, but not my hands. No.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, right. You could sit in a chair if you broke your foot or something, but
Yeah.
you can't like not be able to play.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with them.
No, I don't fuck with it. Dude, I started sleeping with these as a little life. I like these like life experiments. Like, I don't know, just trying things for like 4 weeks, and
Yeah.
so I got these CBD gloves that I sleep on, like when I go to sleep. They're really interesting.
Yeah.
They have CBD like infused in them, and something. They're just tight enough to where you can feel something's on, but you can't really. And when I wake up, man, there's like a nimbleness to my almost my whole second half of my
I
arm.
wonder if just
wild.
the tightness makes blood flow to go to your hands or something.
I wonder what it is. I don't know anything about it. We're doing
That's cool.
Cosmic Country CBD.
Well.
So I've been totally experimenting with what are the ways we like have CBD involved in our lives? Like, it turns out people like do it with their pets. Turns
Yeah.
out people do it with everything, topicals and like
I've seen a lot of soaps, hand soaps in bathrooms and
the
stuff.
bath salts. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's insane. So the gloves are cool, man. And just because I'm that neurotic about protecting my hands,
Yeah.
like,
So it really does, like, it goes right through the pores, like as easy as it does if you were to like smoke a CBD like hemp cigarette.
right. So it does different things to your body in ways that you take it in differently. So
Gotcha.
like Charlotte's Web is a story, and I'm a dumbass, so I don't know 100% what I'm saying at any given moment in time. But it's so true.
I'm gonna hit some whiskey.
love it,
Hit some of that Four Roses right there.
Dude, let's go.
You got the Razor Alley hat and the sweatshirt.
Dude, yeah,
looks great.
I've just been wearing this every day because I'm just a cold Florida boy. Like, if it gets like below 70, I'm freezing. I'm like, no.
The weather is still like
that's real.
we're about.
I've been living in a hoodie. Honestly, I might take it off. I got a cool shirt, so I'm gonna wear it.
Yeah.
Boom.
I was gonna give you a
I like
shirt.
that
I got
one.
one at the house. I think it's like a Smokey the Bear. It says like "Keep it green" or something.
Oh, perfect.
That's
dude.
way your style.
I'm way too fat for it though.
But you don't hit me as a fat guy. You just hit me as a large guy.
I'm thick, man.
He's thick, boy.
Like what?
He's an O lineman, man.
What's
He's
your
an
dimension?
O-lineman.
Yeah, did you play football? Like, what's your
did, man.
size? Like, what are you?
I was
I stopped
very
growing.
small with a big heart. I mean, it's what
Holy
shit!
Well, you got to be real tall on
You
the
gotta be real
O-line.
tall, man. You
And he's
can't-
like 6'1", 6 foot.
I'm 6 foot. Yeah, you can't teach height, man. That's all.
Right,
I
right.
teach, you know.
You got to be like 6'5", 6'6" on the O line.
Yeah. So.
What's that like?
But
when
if you're a
confronted
block
with
like
something
Joe,
what's
Man,
that
what I
like?
should have
when
done
you're-
was long snapping, honestly, and I just didn't do long snapping. I could have, I think, gone to college for long snapping and maybe gone further, and not gotten hurt. Tore my hamstring and stuff. So
Oh, come on.
yeah, I mean, but I wanted to hit people, so I really, really, really liked just hitting people. as
when
hard
you're
as-
built like a block like this guy,
Yeah.
and you come around the edge on somebody, it doesn't matter if you're not 6'5", you're gonna fucking mow them over. If you're like playing
yeah,
the way he
it's all
played.
about, it's all about
You know?
leverage, man.
Yeah.
It's all about leverage.
It's all about leverage, and
Once you
being
learn-
smaller kind of helps with leverage.
Once
Why
you
is
learn
that?
good technique too, you know.
Low man wins.
Yeah, low man wins.
What's
man.
low man win? There's a lot of
The
wisdom to
the
be had
lowest
here in
man
football.
wins.
When two people hit each other,
Okay.
the person who gets lower
Yeah.
in that hit is going to drive the other person up with leverage, and they're going to get shot off the hit, and the person that's lower is going to go through the hit.
That's why leg strength
Wow.
is so important in blocking. And
Right,
stuff, you know,
right.
And also like
So almost being his size kind of helped be like the job he was doing, pulling around the edge.
my job was to be on the line and then pull usually.
What's pulling?
Which means I would.
He gets a running
I would
start.
I would get a running start and run behind the line and block.
Come
on
out the other side of
the
it.
line, and so like basically surprise someone and go.
The first person, that sees the guy with the ball, yeah,
My
they
job-
think,
I was blocking a lot of defensive ends, linebackers, corners sometimes on bigger
Right.
sweep plays or whatever. Because I was faster too, you know. I had a little bit of speed.
How'd you train speed?
A lot of ladders, short sprints, just agility workouts, calves, you know, a lot. I played soccer all through high school, and that really helped my footwork a lot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I played soccer year round pretty much.
Is there a difference mentally between those two sports?
I would say soccer is a lot tougher than people think it is.
it's It's like a longevity game. You have to be able to continue to play. It's just
a very mental game for
physically taxing.
And it's more physical than people think it is.
Oh yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. I would
Why
say
is
so.
that?
People, like, because you're literally fighting. Like, you're keeping the only thing keeping the ball from the other person is your body most times.
Yeah. And people can do really ugly things that you don't necessarily see.
Yeah.
Right.
But
there's a lot of
ugly things that can injure you and hurt you,
yeah.
where you can't play the rest of the game because you got injured on a little it looks like he bumped him, and then no, the dude poked the guy in the eyeball, dude, when it wasn't looking, or like the things people do diving into your ankles and trying to break your ankles and shit.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
There's a lot of that. So in that way, it is just as aggressive as football.
Whoa.
People get tore up. Yeah. It's just like, I'm not allowed to hit you from here up.
Right.
But anywhere here down, I got you. And that's even more dangerous. That's the part that you don't want to get hit in. Really? You'd rather your core take the hit,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, when you're going up for headers or anything, catch a lot of knees to the thighs or to the ribs or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Nasty, dude. It's pretty nasty. I enjoyed it, though. I love soccer.
It's fun.
I was actually excited every single day for soccer practice. I don't know why, but it was just like one of those things I was just stoked to play every time I played it.
There's a lot of finesse in it, too.
Of course.
There's a lot of finesse in it.
And I was always a technique guy, so,
You were a technique guy?
Yeah, in football,
What does that mean?
I just was really I took technique very serious because I knew I wasn't very tall.
Whoa.
So that was going to be my advantage.
And everybody that plays O-line as a technician, I'd say you can't play that position if you don't think like that. It's just one of those.
Well, you recognize your weakness, and then you said, okay, so you can't teach height, right? You're 6 foot, and dudes in football, what, 6 foot? 6 foot.
I mean, on the
6'7".
At the lowest, maybe 6'1", 6'2".
What's the tallest dude out there?
6'5", 6'6", 6'7".
That is a large.
It's the biggest dudes on the field.
Yeah. Usually your centers are shorter, guards get a little bigger, tackles are your biggest guys, left tackles are usually your biggest guy.
Right.
How'd you have a right-handed quarterback?
Would you say you're a good player?
You just pull up your highlight reel. It's play after play after play of him just annihilating some dude coming around on a pulling block, just
I definitely met my matches,
blowing dudes off the ball, dude.
Why?
Wow.
I just was very.
And when I played football, I was the dude that he was fucking killing on that play because I played defense on the outside. So if it was like a sweep run. I didn't play against Job, but when I did play, it was a kid that was built like Job doing that job. Yeah. And I'm the guy that's scrawny as fuck. I'm 6 foot, but I'm scrawny.
Yeah.
If we could have had a fullback.
I played defensive back. That's the smallest guys on the field. Yeah. So there's instances where the biggest guys on the field straight up square up to the smallest guys on the field and straight throw you 10 feet.
That's when they go for the knees, dude. They go for the knees.
Yeah, and then you're tall. When you play my position, yo, hit them low, dude.
Yeah,
hit them low, out, dude. They're not gonna.
Yeah, you're on defense. You can do it.
Right. So they just got to, at that point, dive, and then it kind of neutralizes the play. But you didn't do anything in that play. They took you out of the play.
Yeah.
That's their job. So even if it ends neutral, if I dive low at them and they have to dive over me to not get hit, they did their job because I didn't do anything.
That's where that good footwork comes in handy.
Oh,
right.
Because they can one-step you, they can juke you out, or when you're going down the open field blocking is a very his job is to get around you. Your job is to keep him from getting around you, and it's they can one-step you. If your agility is not there, they can juke you out and, get right past you. And
but I think there's a connection to all that with music and the disciplines or whatever.
Yeah.
People who do disciplines are good at picking up other disciplines. And any kind of sport like that you're doing a discipline as you learn it. And then you're being asked to do a job that's very specific to your body type and whatever in that world, but that you're being asked to do this job. And then you get really good at that job. You become a technician at it. Mm-hmm. And so then you're like, okay, well, I want to be this musician. You're playing guitar in your room, and you have the same technician mentality.
I think some of the simplicity in practicing in football, where you go to practice for a week or two and do the same thing every day. You learn. You're like, coach, what am I doing the same shit for over and over? And I think you learn that sometimes simplicity gets you to your perfection possibly. So when you're working with music directly. Practicing the same things over and over again and being persistent what you're doing. I think that translated a lot for me, you know.
Man, does it still? So is it something where you're doing?
Yeah, I'm still doing. I mean, I'm releasing a mixtape.
You did it all from your room.
Yeah,
That's insane.
and I learned how to play some stuff. Learned how to mix, how to record. So
Wait, you recorded and you mixed everything on the new project. That's insane.
yeah,
Is that your first time doing that?
yeah,
Man, so coming out of playing football, I guess both y'all. So I was wrestling from kindergarten all the way up until when high school started. And that's when I started taking music real seriously. And I realized I was no longer good.
Yeah.
But for a good while there, that's all I did. All I did was wrestles. First time I ever was in a room full of people was wrestling. Just me and one other dude out there wrestling.
yeah.
Well, we were children. But still, it's like that idea of performing. And the idea of there being this pressure on it, it's like, man,
Yeah.
either you've done the work or you
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
done the work, and there's no hiding behind that.
Right.
I feel like music's really
Yeah,
like that.
owning up to what you know, like a vulnerable
Ownership.
side of yourself. You know, like,
The performance aspect of both is the thing that ties them
Yeah.
together, and it's even in business because we are both in the entertainment business. Like sports is an entertainment business, just like music is. So we're actually like kind of like tied in this thing way deeper than we all think, you know. And they use music in sports, like at games, to build atmosphere. And there's music, like the players are dancing, and like, you know, there's always music involved. Halftime shows.
There's always
So we're closely tied, you know.
you can always find that similarity. And the thing that astounds me is like, how do we make all of this work when we really just do like certain things really well? Like there's a dude who mixes a song, there's a dude who produces the song, right? And there's a person who writes it, or maybe three, and there's a artist that sings it, and there's a band that plays it, and you contribute to all these pieces in really wonderful ways.
Right.
Yeah, it's astounding, man.
yeah,
It is. It's pretty damn crazy, especially growing up we're in a place where there's not like an industry for it, and like everyone, you either are DIY entirely or you don't exist. Like where we're from, if you're not by the business, you can't. You have to just you have to make the thing. You have to think of the thing, make the thing. You have to like promote the thing. You have to do all the things that are involved in it. And like then
man.
you come here and you see like,
Right.
wow, there is like a way to make like an actual humongous business out of this, and you can get involved in it. Like if you're around here and you see how it works, you get involved rather quickly if you like to, and that's a huge thing that can allow somebody who's just like, man, I'm really great at playing bass, and I want to make a career of that. How do I do that?
Right, man.
I'm going to move to Nashville. Screw it. Then all of a sudden, this dude's making a literal career playing bass and having the most fun and playing the biggest venues and the coolest studios, and like that just doesn't exist like in so many places. So
Nowhere.
Nashville's like an anomaly in that way, you know.
I think it'll stay that way.
I hope so.
Yeah.
You would hope
do.
so. I like there's been definitely a downsizing movement since like the recession and people not buying records. Like a downsizing,
When you
I
say the
guess.
recession, what do you mean?
Like of 08 and up to 2012 ish. Like how just down everything was
It's
for
like record sales this year like surpassed first time in CD sales. Vinyl sales surpassed, I think, since the 80s, since the mid 80s.
Really?
Yeah.
Vinyl sales
Vinyl
surpassed CD sales.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the CD game is you know, all but kind of forgotten at this
It's
point.
especially in America,
Yeah.
especially for certain genres, but not in country though so much.
Yeah,
You can
still
sell
sell that.
CDs for sure.
That's a real
I definitely still sell CDs. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's it. People like to have something physical. You know?
That's right. That's right.
Not until you get that Tesla. There's no CD player in that Tesla. Would you all ever fuck around and drive an electric truck? None of my friends say they'd be down for that.
I don't know. I
think
just
it'd be
saw the
so
new
cool.
Hummer that was electric. That was pretty interesting.
They got, why are you doing an electric Hummer? What's the point of that? How
I
many
don't know,
batteries do you
like,
need for that?
I definitely wouldn't buy it unless that was like my. I don't know. I'd have to have a lot.
I mean, it seems like
if someone gave it to me, yeah, I'd drive
Elon
around.
Musk has a lot of
So yeah, I would definitely drive around if somebody gave it to me.
Elon Musk has a lot of faith in his electric motors. He thinks that they're quite powerful, and he's even built that semi truck. I don't know if you saw his like
The Cybertruck.
semi truck model that he did.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're making a semi truck motor, then you're finding some significant power there.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I don't think it like makes a truck any less. It might even make a truck more powerful.
Have you
know
seen
what I mean?
it when it outpulled the Ford F-150?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Out-Forded the Ford.
right. It might be even crazier. Like, it might be the
thing for me
craziest
is
thing
the
ever.
range. The range at which you can drive them, it's very low.
400s, I think, miles. Not very
And
long.
not even that much.
Really?
Some of them are like 200, 250.
That'll get
So-
up on you, though, living in Nashville.
You know, like, but if you had to travel outside Nashville, like,
No, yeah.
gosh, you'd have to find a charging station every 200 miles.
The
And then you'd have to
highway.
wait like 20, 30 minutes every time. It's
And
like,
are you going to find that in the middle of
It's-
West
yeah, you're
Texas
not
or
gonna
Arizona?
find- there are
Hell
definitely
No,
places.
no, Wichita
You
Falls.
can't go to Texas.
Yeah, you probably won't find that
So-
shit.
Well,
yeah.
Dude, that was so scary. I was driving out there by Grand Junction or whatever, and I passed the town. I was like, oh, I have enough gas to get to, I can't remember what town it was. I was way, way, way out in like central West Texas, whatever. And I didn't I'd never been out that far, and I didn't realize that at a certain point, dude, it drops off where it's like 60 miles between towns. Like, and I'm like driving like, oh damn, I didn't think about that, huh? Then I see my gas like going to empty, and I'm like, oh shit, dude, I'm literally gonna be stuck on the side of the highway in West Texas with nobody. Like one car passes you every 20 minutes or
That's
something.
real.
It's like,
Oh, man.
wow.
that is
We're
a Guy Clark-ism. That whole
That
story.
scared the shit out of me.
What?
But I ended up making it on fumes to a pilot station that I found out there. It was like a godsend. I was like, oh. But you know what? Those people out there, a bunch of cattle ranchers driving by with their big trucks and trailers, they would definitely help you out. They saw some stranded. They'd be
Hey,
like,
that could be a cool song. Fumes. Nobody take that.
I like fumes.
on fumes? Yeah, you like that? He's like, nobody take that.
I'll sideswipe your ass. You
Yeah,
take that
dude.
top line.
Yeah, dude.
Made it to Grand Junction on fumes.
Dude.
That's pretty
Man,
cool.
that is nice. That's really nice.
Yeah.
That's beauty. Man,
It's
you know
crazy.
who just passed away was I don't know if you guys listen to him at all. Was Billy Joe Shaver.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Man, that's wild.
I know,
have
man.
you guys dug into any of his work?
No.
Yeah, I did. One of my buddies was a big like fan of his and was like telling me about him. And he's a Texas, like my buddy's from Texas. So he kind of like told me the story about him or whatever. And he was kind of like this legendary figure that I guess like didn't get the love that he maybe deserved.
You got that Four Roses in that Cafe Bustelo coffee?
Oh,
No.
Dude, I might want to try that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, do it.
Damn, cuz. Didn't Billy Joe Shaver write some like enormous songs though?
Yeah, he wrote a couple big songs.
That he didn't sing the.
He didn't have the big cut on him. He had a
Right.
lot of Waylon cuts.
Right. That he wasn't singing. That's what I thought.
Like Tales from the Tour Bus. Have y'all ever seen that show? That Mike Judge series?
Yeah.
You gotta check out that.
Very
Waylon
good.
one.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, he's
Ryan?
in it several times, I think. I've seen ones
Definitely
about him.
around Waylon's story. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, come on, get that. Get in on that. That's a new corn cob pipe too. I like the way the wood hits way more than glass.
Yeah.
I'm dumping this whiskey in the coffee, dude. Screw it. Let's go. Small batch coffee, baby.
Weren't y'all living in Texas? Is that real?
I mean, we were never living out there, but Job has been out there for probably a
working
month
down
at
there?
least
Whiskey
time.
before breakfast and coffee after lunch. I don't know.
What is that? Is that already an idea?
No.
Our homie Matt
Nobody
moved
take
out there,
that.
I guess.
You're coming in on it hot today.
No, dude. I'm ready to write.
We just turned our podcast into a writing session.
That would not be the first time. That's a real thing.
Hey, we did that last time. We were supposed to have a podcast, me and you, and we
Read between
ended up
the
writing.
headlines.
Read between the headlines.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It's man, I can't help but like kind of always be thinking of where things I'm writing come into a political view right now.
Yeah.
It's like it's so tense.
It's so tense.
It is.
It's really wild.
It's insane.
I'm getting on Instagram just to post things I get out. I don't even scroll.
Yeah. I haven't been either. I'm tired of it right now.
Right? It's a tired of it. It's like a tired of I'm just done. I'm ready for us to at least agree on something.
Right. It's been it's desperate times sort of thing. People are just, uncertain.
Right.
People are afraid. So it's just those emotions in humans give off the result of like anger and backlash toward the things that they're either fearing or the things that they're whatever it is. Like, there's always like a intense reaction, I guess, when it's this crazy.
Man,
right?
Maybe you guys learned this through playing sports. I certainly did. It hit me when I was talking to my friend Scott DiCarlo, who was a police officer in East Rutherford, New Jersey for about 13 years. That's what he did. And he's since then retired out of the force. But he was telling me that there was such a big difference between certain cops that would react emotionally and other ones that react more rationally to a moment. And he said the main difference in that was training.
Yeah.
And he's like, in life right now, you got to have these emotional training so you don't react so emotionally to everything you see. Yeah. You're not on everything's leash.
Right.
Like, man, it's so easy to get hooked in right now.
Yeah.
It's so much shit. That affects people's music, too.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a wild thing.
It is, man.
Well, musicians are emotional creatures.
Oh, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It's our job also to reflect the truth of what's happening now. Like,
Sure.
that's what comedians do,
Sure.
right? And musicians, you got to be able to do that, like in a sleek, slim way. And man, it's definitely like it's a challenge to like feel like I have a lot to say right now. I don't know if you guys feel that way.
Well, that's what I was
Like
kind of
music,
getting at with musicians being emotional creatures. Like we, like a lot of the time, the reason people say, "Oh, such and such musician said this about politics," and everyone goes, "Shut the fuck up! We don't care what you have to think, like to say. You're like rich and you don't understand."
I do kind of think that though.
There's like that element of it, but I think that's because people understand that musicians are naturally emotional creatures and are more likely to judge situations on an emotional response than on a logical response.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
So then it makes me, even though I feel like I'm approaching life pretty logically,
right?
Just because of my tie to what I do, I'm scared to even try to even venture there because people are like, "You're just a musician. Like, shut the fuck up."
Dude, that is true.
You know?
It's like, oh yeah, let's say.
But then it's also our job to do that kind of like for society. It's always been art's job to do that. So it's kind of a tough. Where's the line? You know, is there a line? What does it look like?
Dude, I think you have to admit that you're a moron. If you're not no one clearly knows what they're.
Yeah.
So like, I don't need to go on Twitter and like hear about you really don't know like what you're talking about at all. It's like. That's a weird thing too. I'm noticing like with this era we're in, where everyone has a platform. Andy Warhol said it best, and I don't really know a lot about Andy Warhol, but he did say some cool shit.
Yeah.
And he said one time, in like the 70s, that in the future everyone will be famous for 15 minutes. And it's like, yeah, man, like I can see that because like everyone has a platform now. Especially like TikTok, which like has the fastest 100 million user growth rate out of any other social media platform that's ever happened. And it's like everyone's kind of has a platform where they think that people want to hear everything they say. And I think that can kind of like help like inflate narcissism in your life, which would like lead to depression. And you can see why. I just see like a lot of angry creatives right now. Like people who do art, friends of mine that, own or make jeans, and people who do visual, people who do music, people who do production. It's like there's anger, and it's like, man, I think it's because you think what you say really is that important, but it might not be.
It might not be, no.
That's the thing, and I feel like, to be honest with you, man, like I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy ever and I know everything that's going on, but like I studied history and poli-sci type shit in college, and like that was what I was focusing on.
Wow.
So I was around just like some really brilliant people. So even if you're not this guy, you see what that looks like, right? That's part of what you're paying for.
What'd you study? What'd you do?
I studied history. I studied American history, and when you look at history, you look at all sorts of things. You look at economics.
Patterns,
you look at
right?
you look at patterns.
You see any patterns in cycles that are happening today?
I feel like a whole other podcast. But we
got time.
But it is like
it's real. Like
I'm not gonna act like I know. But the thing, I'm not gonna act like I know everything about this stuff.
Right.
But I know enough to kind of know what I don't know. And so many people don't know enough to know what they don't know. And then the people who typically know the most on a subject without being like the expert who's actually the talking head, they're usually kind of like they shut their fucking mouth about it. and then the people who know the least are the loudest about things a lot
Check
of the
this out.
time.
Are y'all familiar with that? Who was it? I don't think it was Confucius. I hope people don't get mad at me if I get this one wrong. Those who speak do not know. Those who do not speak know. I think is what it was. It's like, well, that's real.
Yeah,
like those who do not speak most likely know. And everyone out there who's like saying that they know everything, and people consumed by social media.
Right.
Posting
Well, that's
all
what
the time.
I mean.
If they don't speak, you better assume they know at least. Or,
Exactly.
I think.
There's a vibe to that. It's just like, man, I don't see like a lot of like artists and songwriters I love right now like going and like posting about the things they do know, like how to write a song and like how to perform on stage and how to like convey an emotion through music. Like,
Well,
they're
we've
not
been
out there,
stripped
like,
of it though.
screwing
We
that.
don't get to
Like,
do a lot of these things
That's
right now.
been
So
crazy,
it's
man.
then what are we supposed to stew on, right? In our spare time that we usually would spend creating a new thing for our set that we're going to do tonight, or do,
Right.
whatever it is.
You guys think about
Yeah, being on the road definitely is a
What you
different
got?
mind state than what's been going on for sure. Yeah.
when you're on the road, you can't help but focus on no more than 3 things.
Right.
like-
It simplifies things for you, and you can really like hone in on how to do your job really well. And it's
I
nice.
usually function better when I'm on the road,
Me too.
as personally, business wise, everything, So, yeah. But it's been fun to create in this time and learn to create differently.
You made a whole EP.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to learn how to be
That's
active
awesome.
during all this. Yeah, it's been fun.
Man, what inspired that whole thing? Are you on it too, Ryan?
Yeah.
Are you doing like you guys?
Yeah, I
all
did a
do
little
rights
bit.
on it?
Yeah, we co-produced one of the tracks together. Ryan played like guitar and bass, some slide guitar.
And that was one that we had written together too.
Yeah,
so
that's
there
one
was,
that we had written
it was
with
like
Troy Olsen.
Troy Olsen.
Yeah, so
Shout out Troy Olsen, dude.
yeah.
Come on.
The Arizona Cowboy, dude. Or is it New Mexico? No, it's Arizona.
Is it not New Mexico where he's from?
Is it New Mexico? No, I think it is New Mexico.
I don't know.
He's from right on the line though. Troy Olsen's property, like family's property, backs up to the Mexican border, I think.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, he's like a damn or whatever the western ass cowboy as hell.
Right on the line's a cool.
Oh, yeah.
cool lyric.
Dude,
That's
we're just making songs right here. We need to start writing these
Yeah.
fucking down.
Yeah, but I mean, Ryan had been through the studio more than me. He had more experience for sure. Like I haven't had a lot of experience, I would say, but I've seen a lot of mic placement and paid attention while mixing and things like that to what guys are doing. And me and Ryan kind of worked out. That was the first song I recorded with this stuff. I just went to Guitar Center and bought an interface and mic, and so this was the first song we recorded using this stuff, and so it was a big experiment. We
It's
just
brave.
we went after it, and then I just continued to work on it.
But it was so cool because we worked on that song. We were just really stoned and
Very
just
stoned.
just doing the creative thing that we like to do.
Yeah.
We're like,
Right.
if we're creating or writing or whatever, usually it's like 11 in the morning. I just show up at the house.
Right.
We drink some coffee.
Yeah, you gotta get down to it.
And we rip the bong. Whatever happened, whether we're writing or doing that, something to record, or whether it's like whatever.
Yeah.
We just wherever it takes us.
Whoa. No, not like
It's not so structured. Like,
Right.
this is what we're
God,
doing today.
whatever it takes us. Where are all these titles coming from?
oh
Dude,
my
are we
God.
It just takes us, dude.
Dude, that's hey.
Are we writing this
Shoot.
down? Do we have this written?
I mean, we're recording it. We should bleep out the titles.
I was about to say, I know like 3 people who are going to be writing every one of these down.
This one's induced the most titles out of anyone ever. Dude, I think because there's 3 of us in one room, I think the energy is like.
I think we need to write a song, Daniel.
We're on a similar energy. I feel like us fellows.
Me and him write a lot, I would say. Yeah.
Dude, that's a real thing. Like energy companions, like friends that just coast with you when you're creating and doing your work. That's a real thing, man.
It is cool because it's like you are feeling different every time about what you want to maybe even make or what you're trying to express or get out. It's not always like, hey, let's co-write a song. Sometimes it's just like, let's barbecue some ribs and conversate about like the world, and then all of a sudden you have 2 guitar licks and 3 titles later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't always have to be like a co-write, but then sometimes it is. And then like, we got this idea. Oh, there's this like title. There's this lick. then it's like, okay, we have something concrete to like go at. Then it's easier to like approach it like a co-write, you know?
Man, that's the realest thing. So you're talking about intention.
Right.
You're talking about your intention when starting a project, or just like going on about just a single day of doing whatever it is. You
Right.
guys aren't so rigid in your approach to the structure.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, do you think that affected the music in a positive light?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I like trying to just discover new ways and new things, and taking the time to like be vulnerable and try something new as well. It's cool.
I've always like embraced like the way that I change and the way that the music changes.
Right.
So I've always just tried to be like, in my head, I'm like, wherever I go and whatever I'm like feeling, and I'm like writing a lot of that, I believe that that's happening for a reason, and I'm not gonna try to like fight that. So then when I have a collection of those songs that I want to record and I record those songs, it's like time stamping my life for me too.
Yeah.
I can remember where my head was when I made that.
Yeah, I was watching the Paul
Versus whatever, whichever one of my songs or whatever, I can remember the headspace. And so it's like, it just sort of like, it helps you map your own life, I guess.
Yeah, I was watching a Paul Kaufman thing this morning, and he was talking about how Willie Nelson says that he likes to say like he doesn't maybe have a sound, or Paul Kaufman says he doesn't want to have a sound, you know, like whatever that sound was for that record was that moment in life, like, and whatever the next thing is the new thing.
That's cool.
You know, so
That's awesome.
Right.
there's not really a sound; it's really like a timestamp or you know, the vibe before that, which is like what Ronan mixtape is for me. It's very COVID.
Where you was right then,
Yeah. It's exactly how I feel. Like,
Wow. Yeah.
And when you care, then you get to care about it more.
yeah, man, I love.
Then you
making
get to
music
like
that I
really care about the
I love
art you're making. And when people say to you, "Hey, dude, play this song that you have," you don't have to be like, "Oh, that fucking song."
Yeah.
You know,
That's great.
you're like, "Oh, I love that song." Actually, yeah, cool. I'd love to play it for you.
You gotta always at least try to love what you're doing. Like that has to be a part of the approach to like say you're gonna put your name on something and do it. Like the priority of loving it has to be real. And it's like, man, I think with
So
music,
many people don't get to love what they're doing. It's astounding. If people knew how many people didn't get to do what they really wanted to do, they'd be stunned.
What do you mean by that though?
I think that people are willing to totally compromise what they want for the idea of like having some fame or getting some sort of like fast track to the.
Wow.
People love the idea of an express lane. Like, give me a break. Like, you know, everybody loves an express lane. If you for some reason found your way onto the express lane, you wouldn't bitch about it, you know? But then when you get on that express lane, there's some stipulations that you're going to follow, right? Because that's part of the gig. If you want it your way and your way only, get in line for the hard way. And if you want
That's not
to
beautiful.
get there quickly, get ready to give away some of what your will is, you
Right.
know? And
That's
so
real.
You better understand what you're getting into when you're taking the hard way. You know, I think you need to have.
well, you need to have a
understanding
good understanding of what you're getting into either way you do it.
Yeah.
Because it can be either way is a crazy situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Always it's gonna be. I think that's gotta be everyone's life though. It's like I think like that man, there is like the lost at sea feeling is the metaphor I always use. That's a real thing a lot of people feel, you know, and man, even, you know, people twice my age, you know, 50 plus, like, man, I'm talking to them and they're definitely participating in ways where they feel just as lost. Like the COVID years really did that to so many people. That's a real thing, man. Trying to know what you're getting into at all moments. That's gotta be
Well,
part
understand
of
that life is a real thing, and
Right.
you don't have control over a lot of things, you know. So, you know, worry about what you can control. I feel like, and
Effort.
try to find positivity in whatever you're doing, because something is around the corner that you have no idea is about to happen. Always, you know. I feel like,
Whoa, man.
yeah,
That's a real thing. Yeah. I think it's like a patience, positivity, persistence. That's why I say, at least to myself, most days, always trying to stay on that, kind of stay in that energy. It's like whatever I'm doing. Like if I'm stuck in traffic And I just can kind of remind myself of this like similar pattern of word that I say throughout the day, like a mantra. It's like, whoa, so you can kind of exist on the same vibration throughout the entire day, or headspace, or like operating system, like whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And man, I think that level that you exist on is what comes through music. Like, I think that's a huge part of it that speaks for us that we're not even aware of is speaking for us in large ways. Mm-hmm. And it's this idea where it's like, man, if you can exist in a positive, like efficient headspace throughout as much of the day as possible, then when you can kind of always be playing music. Like, you can kind of always be writing songs in your head, or always thinking about guitar and thinking of like playing rhythm parts in my head. We just cut a song yesterday for this Fish tribute album to Farmhouse, like one of their biggest studio albums.
Nice.
And they have this amazing country style song called Back on the Train. And man, for like 4 days, like literally, I'm just playing the rhythm part in my head, just trying to like feel in my bones. And it's wild. I tracked it yesterday. It was fun as fuck to be back in the studio.
Yeah, definitely.
Cut it down at Sound Emporium, Room V. Have you all ever tracked there?
I love Sound Emporium.
Didn't you track some songs there?
We did some of Jelly Roll's. Well, Jelly did his record at Sound Emporium A. I did a little writing in there with them and some performance on the album, so I was in there with them, and it was honestly a dream come true because I've seen Sound Emporium A, like I've seen the room on several occasions, but never got to work in it. So it's my first time working in there, and I was holy shit, this is so cool.
Legendary.
But also, Sound Emporium B I had worked at before, and I actually, dude, the drum tones you get in Sound Emporium B, because the room is like a little bit smaller, but it's not like a super small drum room, but it's not like as wide open as Sound Emporium A.
I've been in B before,
Dude, the punchiest drums, fattest, like roundest drums, like in that room, it's unreal. And the ceiling's all shaped crazy right in there, so you can get this perfect, like, oh dude, the mics are just like soaking the sound up. It's like so good.
That was an observation I had yesterday. Like, so in the studio we're at now, man, I've been in here every day for at least 4 hours, like every day since March, like writing and tracking demos in here. Mm-hmm. But to be in a room where it was designed for music, the energy is 100-fold different.
Oh yeah,
like you're just inspired being in the room where you can the way that you're talking. It's very level. It's very dense. It's noise treated. It's beautiful. And then you go into the vocal booth and you put on Telecaster and there's like that like SM7 in there and you're like, man, we're actually doing this. Like, it's way different than being at home, and like I feel like that affects the music too.
It does, dude. It does so much.
It makes it more of an intentional thing.
Yeah, I've got to spend a lot of time recording things. See, my biggest dream was before this COVID and before this mixtape was to go and be able to just create with as much time as I want. Like maybe some folks used to do back in the day, just record as long as I want and just have the ability to create and get in different mindsets. And so, I've had to like pay for studio time and stuff like that. And it's not as easy to do it when you're an independent artist, and go in and have as much time as you want in the studio. But I got to do that at home. I got to experience a little bit of that, but I can't wait to maybe one day go in the studio and just be in that room, be in that environment, or maybe ride in there, and, really.
Dude, I mean, I learned that a lot from this whole experience with Jelly. Like me and Jelly and I guess you would say he was my manager. I guess he's that, Matt Wallace. And they kind of like, they sort of just started a record label, and they were just like, well, if we're signing you, I guess we got to have a name, right? So they like made an LLC out of their label or whatever, but I signed a deal with them, and then that led to me working on Jelly's album and being a part of the Sound Emporium thing, and being around him a lot, man. He's a philosophical dude who knows what he's talking about a lot with this entertainment stuff, and I always felt like setting was so big, like in my own experience with creating. Setting is so big. A beautiful place is gonna affect my mood, and I'm gonna create really well in a cool like place. And and it always affected me so much. And then with talking with Jelly, and I thought it was crazy because so many people that I was around didn't really value that all that much. They're fine to just cut stuff wherever, and it didn't matter to them. Where I felt like it mattered so much. And then getting with Jelly, I can tell we're like-minded in that sense, because when you talk to him, he's like, dude, setting is like everything. We wrote in Sound Emporium A. Like we were there for a 7-day period writing and recording on that album. So I was in there one of the days just writing, and then one of the days just whatever, just hanging out. But you can see that the process was super natural. We had enough time.
Is it on Spotify?
Yeah, it's on Spotify. But we had enough time in the studio.
What's it called?
To really dig in and kind of lay back and make the.
What's the record called?
Yeah.
The album's called Selfmedicated.
That's cool.
Yeah, it just costs so much money to be in there, man.
It does. It helps to be Jelly and where he's at in his career.
That's that guy who looks kind of like Post Malone. Am I wrong?
He's a big dude. He's a big boy.
Well, he's like a large Post Malone, right?
Yeah.
He's also a thick guy.
He's a thick man.
Wait, is large not acceptable? Is large not PC? I would take, dude, large is great.
No, dude, if you ask Jelly, he'd be like, man, I'm a fat motherfucker. What do you think? He told me one time, he goes, dude, I feel like delivery is something I'm really good at, and making things look cool. He goes, shit, I've made a 450-pound man look fucking cool for 10 years. I'm like, yeah, okay. He dogs himself about it.
I gotta get him on here and talk about what he's doing.
Dude, he's awesome, man. Way eclectic dude, that you think this guy's a rapper, but dude, really he knows about all sorts of kinds of stuff, and he's very well-rounded as far as how to do this business.
Wow, what a different kind of dude.
He signed a country artist. Isn't that weird?
Damn.
He's just like, hey, Nelson, you're pretty good, man. We're going to sign you. I'm like, all right, bud. Hell yeah, thank you.
Man, I've never heard of him. I've never heard of Jelly Roll.
Oh, yeah, he's a Nashville guy, too.
That's insane.
Born and raised.
Oh, that's not his name, of course.
Yeah, his name's Jason.
That's such a normal name for a dude named Jelly Roll. No one calls him Jason.
And to certain people, people who know him well.
Man,
that's been cool. But what was cool about that whole situation was then I didn't have to feel like I was weird for giving so much of a shit about setting. Because this guy's setting the example of no, make your setting cool as fuck and watch what happens kind of mindset. And I'm the kind of the same way. So at least I'm signed to a deal with them. We value kind of the same things, and that's really cool.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really
that's
cool.
Great. I think it's something that I learned a lot this year, and I'm just kind of fucking around with this idea still. But it's really the thing about living in Nashville is that, and I think it can be this way for any business center of a certain domain of expertise. But living in a city where there's a lot of people trying to win and get at the same thing, it can kind of cause you to compromise with certain parts of your identity. And certain parts are good. Don't be a dick, or make sure you call people and let them know that, you guys are friends. You guys are cool. Yeah. And be a kind person.
Yeah.
But man, if you live in, certain parts of Nashville, you live in East Nashville, a lot of those people sound the same. They kind of start curating, and you live in Midtown and Germantown, there's that scene as well. And it's I think it's all about you just being you and finding those people who vibrate on your same level, people, which sounds so woo and abstract. I'm not trying to talk like that, but it's
you're absolutely right.
Right,
you're absolutely right.
Just you'll attract the people in your life that you should be working with and collaborating with. If you're working hard and just staying true to who you are.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the class of artists that came out when you're talking Maren Morris, Brothers Osborne, Casey Musgraves. They were all operating on a wavelength together of being true to themselves. Each one of them, and none of them sound like each other. And yet they all sound like themselves so well. And they were coming up in a time where a lot of the stuff was more of the manufactured, Midtown sound or East Nashville sound or whatever.
Right.
And they kind of had this in-betweener thing where they had elements of that East Nashville sort of authenticity thing, and then elements of the Music Row commerciality maybe.
What are your guys' thoughts on commercial music and writing commercial music? Because I feel country is literally the only genre that is as big as it is and has things that are equally commercially successful, like that is country. Like you can't say it's not. And then stuff that is so not successful that is still really good.
Right.
Like there's some great country music that no one's heard, and it's not commercial at all.
I mean, you can argue that the best country music is the country music that no one's heard, but at
Certain
the same
standard.
time,
Right.
At the same time, though, commercial music is like people gravitate towards it for a reason.
That's
There
what I'm
is
getting
something
on,
viable there.
That's what I'm getting on.
I respect that people have different taste, you know.
Yeah.
That people love something because whatever it is that they love it, you know, something they were raised on or whatever, you know. But, you know, everybody has different taste, and I think the internet has made the market so expanded and like so huge that, you know, if you can just get to your people,
Right.
you're going to do just fine.
Are y'all familiar with Seth Godin? You know who that is?
No.
So he's a marketing mind. So I don't know anything, but he has this book called "We Are All Weird," and it's insane. And it's I'm like some of the bullet points that I can I'm in this headspace think of. One of them was the idea of not embracing tribalism, but like you have a tribe of people who dig what you do, and you can communicate to them in many different ways. You can give them music, photos, content, video, all that. And that's the era we're in now, where it's like you no longer get like the whole pie. You just have your slice of the pie. Like that's the Job slice.
Yeah.
That thick slice.
Sure.
It's real though, you know.
Yeah.
Man, I think that's a beautiful thing about being an independent artist is that, man, if you have that get up and go, there literally is nothing stopping you. Like
There isn't, man. Like
just go
you
do
work
it.
hard, man, you go, and you're a good person, you know. And you can understand that people are different, and you're going to meet all kinds of different people. And you just try to be yourself, and again, be a good person, and treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, it's like I think you can find your crowd of folks.
Whoa.
The world's so big, man.
Oh man. And
It
you
might
don't
not even
need
be
a
in
lot of
America either. There are definitely people that do
Oh, no.
better maybe overseas than they even do here.
Man,
And
so
they live here, you know.
it's
So.
yeah, we were just shipping out some vinyl here a couple days ago. I had like fucking 300 boxes. Like everyone in my van wasn't able to come over to do it, so I'm doing it all myself. And I'm very present, you know. I realized, man, what a sign of green lights, you know, just like keep going, like you're good,
Yeah.
you know. And man, I noticed that there was like 4 records going in one box all the way to Germany. And we went to Germany the first time last year. These 4 boxes were going to Cologne, Germany. Cologne, Germany was where we had the least amount of people in attendance for our headlining show. There was like 26 people in this big like EDM German music hall with like graffiti on the floors and the walls, on the
I can already
monitors.
picture this, dude.
Wow.
Like sound guy has dreadlocks like down to his Birkenstocks.
Wow.
And it was, I want to say, great Job. Like that's the Job vibe. Like
Dude,
part of it.
I want to go to all these places. I mean, I don't know if I told you, but I mean, you inspired me to do the tour that I hope to do here soon.
Wait,
You know,
are
like,
you? How so?
I just
That's
want to go
insane.
to. I just want to go. You know, I want to continue to do opening shows if possible. But I mean, you know, I want to get started on my own thing here soon, and I want to go play for my people. Like whoever comes, like there's 5 people there. They're like my 5 people. You know,
Yeah.
and just
Well, there'll be more than
really
5
try to
people.
connect. You know,
That's crazy.
try to connect. You know, with who you can, like you guys are doing. You know.
Finding a connection it's like it's so easy to get away from the concept that that's all you need to do and keep it that simple.
Yeah.
But like there's things that are true today that'll be true in 5 years, that'll be true in 10 years, 20 years. There really, really are.
Yeah.
Because that's not really a long time. And these things have been truer for way longer than that. And man, finding a connection with your people, that's always, so if you can do that that's so vague, it's so macro, but man, if you can do that, I feel like you're always going to be generating the good stuff, you know,
yeah.
and all that's encompassing of it.
Yeah, I definitely want to try and go overseas at some point. It's definitely
Oh,
Oh
well.
man, I've gone out there and backpacked. But, you know, and there's such a huge market growing in Australia. I feel like I'm you know,
Dude, I feel like you could, in a lot of places, you could show up with a guitar and find your way onto stages in like a heartbeat. They'd be like, "Oh my God, this American
Heard in
guy
Ireland, there's a
from
lot of
Tennessee.
listening
Like,
rooms. Yeah.
wait, like this is like this backwoods guy. Like,
Yeah.
Real.
you know, that like they're playing in the streets and shit. Like, you can find your way into all sorts of shit in Italy or like France.
You gotta
or
do it.
Do you know
can
Borja
just show up
Cancesi?
in a town.
Borja's a fellow Instagram, like, well-known guitar player. And Borja literally travels. He has the same pair of Vans and the same guitar. And look, he's got like 3 flannel shirts. And like, that's it. And he has a Roland Micro Cube, which is like a small battery-powered amp that you don't need any power. You just go.
Right.
Like the electric Hummer. You just fucking take it. And dude, he goes across the world and just plays like the same superstition riff or like E7 thing. And everyone's dancing with him. And some of his videos have millions of views.
Wow.
Babies still go up dancing to him.
Oh, it's him playing the same thing every time?
And he's just busking across the street, just in markets, and
Wow.
It's wild, dude. Like
That's
on
awesome.
cobblestone roads in Italy.
Well,
and
that's how music
beautiful.
really connects people. That is really how it connects people. And there's certain sounds and feelings and certain songs that it doesn't matter like what your like niche of music that you really like love is.
I know.
This is, if you like music at all, you like this, because this is just like
Canon and D. Like,
yeah, it's just like
all
there's certain
cultures use that at the wedding. Like, that's a little wild.
there's certain musical expressions that just like feel so right to every like human that exists, and like certain beats too, specifically rhythms. Then you
man.
can build a melody off that rhythm, but like the rhythm itself is what's maybe connecting us, whether we know it or not. You
Don't
know,
listen to that's not country.
Reggae.
Job,
I'm a
you
big
get into the
reggae guy.
reggae.
dude, I
No,
honestly listen to country about 30% of the time.
Yeah, I'm less than that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a lot of rock and roll and a lot of reggae. So
I like rock and roll.
Whoops.
I grew up on a lot of rock and roll, but I also love all sorts of stuff, man. I love jazzy stuff. I love listening to like crazy like
Y'all ever listen to Afrobeat?
Afrobeat.
Afrobeat
Man.
and Afro harp. You ever listen to Afro harp? It's
No.
wild.
Is it crazy
beautiful.
stuff?
Yeah, I'll put it in the intro of this episode. It's
Yes.
wild. It's
Yes.
wild. It's beautiful, dude.
That's awesome.
It's beautiful. It's astounding. Yeah, like that stuff. Like,
What the f-
what is that? Is that our phone?
Dude, my phone literally never has any volume ever at any point, and then y'all were like,
Yeah, that's how
let's
it
turn
goes.
our phones on silent, and now it decides it wants to make noise. That is so funny.
That's pretty scary.
I know, what the hell? Literally, you know, every time you're like, I lose my phone, and he's like, should I call it? And I'm like, it doesn't ring.
Why would the phone not have the option to ring? I don't get that.
Well, no, I turn it off. I don't want to hear it ringing.
maybe we
Yeah.
brought it to life, dude.
No, maybe all
Maybe
the
we did. Maybe y'all like, dude, yeah.
The energy brought it to life, dude. Here we are.
Energy's real. People pop their head the same in Germany as they do in
The force is
Mississippi.
real, dude.
That's real stuff,
The force
dude.
is real. So, dude,
Joby-Wan Kenobi, dude.
man,
we
the
are.
story of Star Wars is the story of the hero. And you leave home, and there's several steps to the hero's journey. Of which I'm a dumbass, so I don't know them all off the top of my head. But the general idea is one of Hercules, Luke Skywalker, Job and Ryan, and it's real. It's like so you know you have the call to power, and you go and you attain, and you traverse chaos, and you face hardship, and hardship becomes part of your resume, and you discover who you are, and you learn how to execute, and you learn how to bring it back home. And then you just keep on generating. And it's like, man, we're all on that same vibe. We're all on that same train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. But the hero's journey, yeah, the force is real.
Keep discovering, man.
It is real, dude. The force is real. And the music, man, I feel like not to be cliche with the Eric Church quote, but he was dead ass right.
Oh, I love Aaron
Music
Church,
is
though,
so
man.
the thing that
Yeah.
if we could just like get into whatever it is musically that is making us feel this rhythm of the earth and the rhythm of like our surrounding, and whatever you have to listen to perceive the earth the way that is right for you. Music affects how you're perceiving it. And in a lot of ways, whether you're a depressive person or a anxious person or whatever it is, there's something out there, some kind of feeling, I guarantee you, that will alleviate some of that stuff for you, or at least help you understand it more, or whatever it is.
Or make you
And so
feel
there's
relatable.
healing in it.
Yeah.
And there's also that thing that's the like more primal, like rhythmic to the earth. There's that. And then there's also the maybe helping you understand your reality better, or at least cope with it, or whatever it is that you have to do.
Yep. I agree, man. Can't say it any better.
Yeah, very well said, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I'm super high. Blast off, baby.
That's great. That is the couch for it.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to NASA space.
We're on the star couch. Yes.
We're in a galaxy right now. Literally sitting on a couch of galaxy.
Man, the Earth is moving at 1,000 miles an hour.
Isn't it nuts? Isn't that nuts?
That is so nuts, dude.
We're just
I hate
here.
the time change, honestly, but it's crazy to me that in like 24, 48 hours that the sun can change when it goes down so much. It's getting dark at like 3:50 here.
Well, no, it's because
it really is.
It's because like when you get to the actual like middle of the thing,
Yeah.
like with June 21st, I guess it's like the longest day, and then December 21st is the shortest day. When you get to those points, that is like, you know, you're starting to like you've reached the edge of how far it's going to go that direction. Then it starts to tilt back the other way, and you lose an hour of sunlight in that time alone. So then from losing that hour over that, I guess, month and a half period or whatever, and then you get the time change, you lose about 2 hours in about a 2-month span.
That's
sunlight.
real.
Yeah.
It also depends how high up you are. Your elevation.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
Dude, in
what?
Florida, man, when I was growing up, like we lost the sun way later.
Florida's
Because we're down by
weird
the
city.
equator more. Here, I even noticed the different like pattern that the sun takes across the sky here in Tennessee compared to Florida. The like angle
Yeah.
that the sun's taking.
Speaking of suns, I've been just staring at this.
Yeah, that's so dope.
Man,
dude.
that is
Like
that's
the
an
whole
artist named
time.
Mario Panchetti. He's a for everyone who can't see, he's more of like a collage approach to art, which I really love the collage approach.
really cool. Really
And
cool.
yeah,
It's a pool of
man.
flowers with Saturn above it and a rainbow and the sun, cactus. It's interesting.
It doesn't get better, honestly. I love it. Saturn used to be my favorite planet, and then when we moved to Tennessee, we moved to a town called Spring Hill, Tennessee. Saturn was always my favorite.
I used to live there. That was my first move.
You lived in Spring Hill? Man, that's where they used to manufacture Saturn.
No, yeah, Saturn Parkway, right?
Yeah, Saturn Parkway.
Yeah.
Busted my ass on Saturn Parkway once.
Oh, yeah?
Trying to skateboard. That's when I learned. It was the moment when I learned I did not want to be actually a good skateboarder because I wasn't willing to eat ass like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it sucks.
Crack
You get on
my
a
teeth
skateboard,
on
you're
the
going to eat
cement.
shit. That's just...
I stopped
You're gone.
skateboarding when I got credit card so bad. I was like pissing blood, and I was like, I'm good. I'm good, dude. Like this was fun. Well, at least I didn't stop skateboarding, but I stopped like trying to do tricks and nail sweet tricks that I like was trying
When
to
you
pull
stop
off.
doing that, though, you're not doing it,
But
right?
no,
Like,
but dude, I would go to the skate park. It's just so big in Florida, man. Like it's the skating thing that like even when I wasn't like trying to be like good at it, I still would ride my board up to the park and like skate around with like the kids I knew that were a little bit younger than me that had been like
Right.
really grinding and killing it, and they were so good that just even getting to watch it was sick.
it's real.
So I'd go down there and just hang out with these dudes and, you know, bring a pack of smokes and a 32-ounce beer and like sit on the top. I was like the only one that could buy alcohol of the bunch. They're all like 19. I'm like 21.
Yeah.
Sitting there drinking like a big glass bottle, feeling like a cholo, watching kids skate. I definitely did that even after I was like done with trying to be good at it.
I still bring my skateboard on the
You
road.
know.
I have a skateboard. I bring it on the
It's
road.
so fun, dude.
I like cruising around
Yeah.
because sometimes we're in the city where they actually have like nice places to like,
Bring it on
ride
the
a
road.
skateboard. Yeah, you know, it's something.
right.
It's
Idea.
something different.
Right.
I only think about skateboarding when I'm doing it. Same for golf. I play golf and started playing that like a year ago. And I only think about golf when I'm playing that. That's it.
Keeps you present. Yeah. Have you all seen Dogface 420? Come on. Y'all haven't seen that video? What is that? With the, man. Okay, I'm going to do it. This will be the millionth podcast I think it's been done on. We'll see. It's the most legendary video there is. It's
Yes.
it's him
I'm
running
excited.
around.
I'm excited.
It's real, man. It's here it is. Man, Dogface 208. Y'all don't know about this video with the cranberry juice and he's riding on the skateboard and he's living his best life. Oh wait, that's a different one. Is this it? No, a different one. He's definitely figured out his vibe. And check it. Check this. Where is it at? Pick up that Telecaster, man.
Dude, where did this come from?
That's a Fender custom shop. That was the one I got to
Love
build
that
with
neck,
them.
dude. Fuck. Shit.
Whoa.
Look at that neck.
Yeah, is that a full rosewood?
That's a full rosewood neck. I'm not gonna be able to find it. Fuck it.
It's like orange and shit.
Oh, yeah, dude. Okay, yeah.
That's what President's
yeah.
feels like.
I've seen this.
Amazing song. Never
Yes.
hits the one chord. Never goes to C. It's just 4/5, 4/5, F G the whole time.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
I know it's a weird loop. Grateful Dead music does that too. It's like so does Willie Nelson and
Sure.
Bob Wills. I don't know if y'all ever listen to Bob Wills. That happens. Those saddles are made of fake elephant tusk. Great company called Tusk. They're awesome. They never fade. If you look on the back, you'll see there's a Jerry Garcia sticker from 1974. It's like on it.
That's
It's
so
wild.
sick, dude.
So did you have it like it was already cracked like this? Or?
Yeah. It's a nitro fin. It showed like just like cars. Like they started changing what they put on top of
Did you wear
the
this, or
products,
was it-
and
was it part
that's
of-
intentional. So you're talking about the two colors on it. That top color was used on one guitar, Eric Clapton model. It's the same color as one of his BMWs. It's on same of that.
How do you
on
feel
top of
about
that.
these? How
That
do you feel
seafoam
about
green.
these?
It's beautiful.
These balanced, like where the bridge like sort of balanced two strings at a time. There's three of
The
them.
saddles. Yeah. Dude,
I mean, I'm
love
sorry. Yeah, the saddle on here. Like, I like for a long time, I had a Fender that had these
6 of them.
the 3 saddles, and then my buddy had one that had all 6.
Right. Those sound better.
And-
That's that one right there. If you want to hand me that one.
Man, I had so much
That
problem
Brett
with the balancing act
That's
thing,
that
you
Brett
know?
Mason model. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
That has the 6 on them.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
Yeah, I love that guitar.
We brought in the Sound Emporium yesterday. Everyone's like, well, that real one's been here. This was the first fake one that they had in, which is pretty cool. I had Brett on the podcast too, and we got to compare these two guitars and like,
Yeah, how much? How's he truly feeling about it? You know?
it's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing's sweet, dude.
Yeah.
That's dope.
It always works.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
it's awesome.
Man, well, you just did a live
These-
stream the other night, right?
Rosewood,
Use your Strat for that,
Yeah, I
though.
use my Strat. Yeah.
And that orange amp.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great tone.
Yeah.
I remember you let me
played
borrow
the same
that.
amp and pedals and guitar because something happened one night at Whiskey Jam. Yeah. And I was like, I'd like been at shows before and things had gone wrong and I'd seen dude just take off and I immediately was like, just took off and grabbed my shit without even thinking about it. I was like, yep, he's gonna use this.
Dude,
You know?
you were a kind man that night. I'm always happy to find people who have similar ego and lack of ego to me. And I was like, man, that is an egoless person in some way who's going to let him use a stranger use a guitar. It's very kind. Yeah. I think you were 2.5 step down, right? Is that how you sing?
Sorry about that.
No, I've been singing. I've been playing music that way.
Okay,
It's
cool.
great, man.
Really,
I love
really?
It.
It's
Yeah.
kind of nice.
I like that half step.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like more
a lot of
sauce.
my buddies are right. you
There's more
understand it.
sauce, especially in songs that are like a little bit more grooved out, down tempo-y. Like there's a lot of sauce in the way you deliver it.
I'm on that sauce kick. Like I'm done trying to. I'll maintain my skill, but I'm not really focused on like getting much more like Olympian level. I'm all about that sauce right now.
Sauce.
There's a
baby.
lot of feel in music, man. Like, gosh, dude.
It wasn't some like I don't know. I guess it might be a maturity thing. It's probably a life experience thing. I don't know though, but the sauce, like man, I just discovered that Johnny Cash Unearthed. Have you all ever listened to that?
No, not the whole thing, man.
It's insane, man. It really is. Like you see, like everything, like the same things we love in Stapleton, like the same thing we love in Sturgill and Isbell, and then you go back a little, and you're like the same thing that like we loved in like Jamie Johnson, 2003 Johnny Cash, Rick Rubin, acoustic. That's it, and you're like that was kind of the source. That was this millennium's portal to like that same energy. It's like
Sure.
it was the start of it all towards the end of his life, and it's him playing a Martin. He's been playing like through all the phases of his life.
Wow.
And it's just this man who knows how to fucking use that instrument to command a meaning in his voice, and he's using it. And it's insane. Makes you feel like a child. This is like a 70-plus-year-old man, just like the laying the truth on the line. Like that's what he's leaning on.
Right.
It's beautiful, man.
Wow.
Y'all should fuck with it.
Yeah,
It's kind of the same vibe as to the music that you're putting out approach-wise, where it's just real simple studio process and not overthinking things and trusting yourself.
Yeah, a lot of shit was just first takes, and I was like, well, that's it. You know, not overthinking it, man.
Wow, that's insane. I can't do it. First take might scare me.
Well, like first good take, you know, I feel like it takes you like a take or two to like get your wheels, but your first like good take, and then you're like, oh, I got it, but I think I can do it better. You know, I think those are where you start like losing.
You lose feeling for sure.
That ego.
Feeling, yeah. So you know, like I kind of just try to keep some of those. Like once you get your first good one, you're like, okay, I can maybe do it better. I usually like that one right before that.
There's character. There's a human element. There's character to it. Yeah.
Vulnerability too, man. I like it.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, so.
To be human is to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Damn right. That's what people want too.
Yeah.
That
I
is
feel
what
like
we
people
want,
really do want the authenticity. They want to be able to feel like they like have some sort of ultimately human connection with you.
Right.
Being a human and experiencing, you know, in some way their same kind of experience that they're experiencing. Like, oh, this person might be like recognized, but they're still like, they're still a human who just is having the same kind of problems I'm having. So, you know, maybe gives you, maybe make them want to put more stock in the things you say, and like
Truth.
hear you out more when you say things and
Truth
stuff.
wins, man. Truth really does. If you're
Right.
being truthful, you're trying to. Like that's a part of your mission statement. Like to sit down with Brian and Joe. Like I'm going to tell myself like I'm going to be as honest as I can in everything I say and be as real and how I pay attention and react. It's like I feel like you're going to like render more things out of life. It's like sifting for gold. It's like
Right.
you're going to get more gold if you sift in that fashion.
Right.
I don't know. Truth might bring you to the right spot that you wouldn't have thought of before if your mind was on something else.
Right.
It's like, it really is that. It's wild, man. You guys are doing that. Really inspiring, man. I love what y'all do. I fuck with it hard, man. It's beautiful. Is your EP out? Is it out right now or is it not coming out?
It's not out yet.
When's it coming?
I can't say exactly. It might be out before this comes out. I don't know exactly when that comes out.
When should this come out? Put it out right before. There's another way to sneak you into that question, dude.
Yeah.
You play me.
I'm just cold turkey dropping it. So yeah.
Oh, so you're doing that Thanksgiving drop?
No, I'm just
That
like
hot turkey?
doing it. I'm not. Nobody knows that it's coming out really.
Damn, that's cool.
So,
I
yeah.
feel like that's like now's the time for that too.
Yeah. So I'm just
Cool.
right now in the moment. Here it
Might
goes.
be like, you know,
Yeah.
today or something.
It might be like today. Yeah.
It might be tonight.
Are y'all fucking? Is it coming out tonight? Damn.
It's very possible, man.
It's very possible. It's also very possible it doesn't
not
happen as good.
You could swing both ways, man.
Dude, I'm excited to hear your fucking fully produced EP hit people because I know what it's gonna do. I already can see. I can already see the writing on the wall, and I just want to see that so bad. And I love this thing as like a jump off, as a like, hey, we're getting back on the releasing music. We're coming back at you. Here's a teaser. We're about to give you a little 1-2.
Yeah, it's where I'm at right now in life.
Yeah, I totally see it,
and it's also songs maybe I wouldn't put on this southern rock.
Totally
band.
Totally
songs
not.
That may not have come to life for years to come.
Had he not
It had
just
not
doom in the house, right?
just done them.
That's my favorite part about it is the song choice, because
Yeah.
it's definitely
Definitely a lot of thought in the
Stuff.
song choice for this. There were many times where I had songs that I was going to put on this EP and they got replaced with other songs.
I have so many songs that people tell me they want me to record and they want to hear recorded that I cannot justify putting that kind of money into putting those songs on the record when I know that
Just
I
do it
have
like a TikTok video.
this song and this song that like are probably like, I don't want the whole project to be sad, right? Like, people love some of my sad stuff, right? So I can't go out of like an 8-song project and cut 6 super sad songs, but so many people want so many of those songs recorded. They're like telling me like, oh, when are you gonna do this and when are you gonna do that? And then I'm like, man, something like what he just did with his thing in the house.
Yeah, that's
you
real.
can pretty much go and do that.
Exactly.
It
Man.
almost gives you license to do that. And maybe those songs would have never made like your record that you're paying a bunch of money to produce.
Man, I think consumers definitely have the threshold now, and myself being a consumer, like to consume and listen to things knowing that it's not an official thing.
Right.
I feel like podcasts are a huge part of that psyche. Like some people do podcasts twice a day, every day, 6 days a week. It's like, whoa. So you know what I mean? Like, I feel like listeners now understand. It's like, oh no, this is just some shit Joe was doing at his house, and it's like he's doing this, and it's still a real statement, but it's not as formal as like the playthrough a collection of songs that we were listening to the other day in here, drinking like sweet tea, smoking weed, and just he's like, can I pop this on right quick? And it just sends me a Dropbox link and just blows this room up.
Sounds awesome, don't it?
Man, I can't wait.
Like two different things though.
It is, man.
And it's like country music fans, like, dude, myself, it's like we like raw stuff, then you love like the full produced thing. It's like it's like Blackberry Smoke like tours, like they do acoustic tours in the winter, and they do it every year. They do it for over a decade. And then they just tour the rest of the year full band.
Man, I think keep trying to hold yourself to one sound can restrict you like creatively. I think like there are definitely different sides of me that are true to me, and I want to express all those. I learned to do that, I think, from just watching John Mayer do his thing.
John Mayer's the man. Yeah.
So he just like is always trying to recreate himself, I feel like, and just do what is inspiring him in the moment.
I feel like he kind of started for like, especially like, of course, a lot of guitar players, like, he just has the best identity out of anyone, like in 20 years. Just how to express yourself in a way that's artistic, while also consumable. Just beautiful. No one's really done it better. Consistently too.
Consistently, yeah.
You see that consistency really matters.
And then simultaneously been like one of the best guitarists I've ever seen play guitar. It's crazy like that. Those are two things that are also very rare to see together. Somebody who is fabulous writer and artist in their own right, and then also really like playing their balls off on guitar, which I feel like you do very well. And that's that's a huge thing. I tell that to Ben Chapman.
Ben Chapman's one.
I tell that to people that
I love Ben.
Like when they're younger, like Ben's a little younger, so
How
he's
old is
like
Ben?
22.
Yeah, 22. Yeah.
So he's only been here like a year and a half, 2 maybe years now. So like early on with him, I'm like, dog, that's gonna be. I mean, he knew that because he's a great player, but like, dude, that is something that sets you apart. Like you maybe move here and think like, damn, I'm probably just one of like 100 million guys that does this. Not really, dog. Not really.
No,
well, that's the thing.
To play like that and be able to write,
and he's really honed in on his songwriting since he's been here, and I think his own brand as well.
And you have a brand and have an identity.
Well, those are.
What do you mean by brand? I always wonder what people mean by that.
I think what you said about identity, that's like the same thing.
Yeah.
Getting at the same thing. Yeah. Having like Nikki always says, you could dress as this person for Halloween. That's pretty cool.
Who says that? That's great.
Ray's Rowdy, Nikki T. He's actually my roommate. Yeah.
Oh yeah, come on.
Yeah.
He owns
Oh,
Ray's
Nick
Rowdy.
Tressler?
Yeah.
He always says, like, yeah, man, like, this person, they got like this thing, like you could be them for Halloween. I think that maybe that's in a substance
iconic,
branding.
an iconic look, or
that's what we're
and maybe an iconic attitude. Eric Church has both of those. I think.
Eric Church is the boss.
Right.
Chris Stapleton as well, an iconic look and attitude. Like
not intentionally. Doesn't need to be a thing.
No. It's just being
They don't make Stapleton wear a uniform like they do with some artists. Like he kind of like wears probably like he wears that same hat, but he'll like wear whatever he wants. Like
we all have our everyday clothes and our like go out clothes. Like everybody's
of course.
Kind of like that, I think.
Sure.
But I think those guys are able to be themselves, which is like what I try to do, and a lot of other people try to do, and
it's that human element, man.
Yeah,
it really is.
But it's a vulnerable thing to try and really be yourself because you have to kind of go against.
You have to be able to accept that.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people have a hard time. That's part of growing up. I think that's a big part of your 20s is like learning to accept like these realities about yourself and about life and being you.
God. Right.
And people who fail to learn that in their 20s, and they're having to learn that in their 30s and 40s, that causes a lot of problems in their life.
No way do you stop learning it though. You
don't. But like starting to become aware of it and understand that you have to live with yourself.
I think sports and having friction early on in life helps you, because you see that, man, there are some things I'm good at and some things I'm really bad at. And you have no choice but to accept those limitations.
Totally.
So I want to circle and wrap this up with, which is like, man, is not so much a big part of finding success, like about recognizing your weaknesses and just like leaning in on the things that you're good at.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, learning to say yes is a really good thing, and learning to say no is also, a really good thing as well.
Well,
yeah,
man.
For different points in life, I feel like.
To reject the idea that we can't put out music and that we can't interact with people, like during COVID, was like, several of my friends like did that. Went off social media and like went off like making music, even writing music, and like that's cool. But really, like, the thing to do is to like reject when people say like, no, you can't do this, and try to find good ways around it. Mm-hmm. So kudos to you, my friend, for doing that.
Hell yeah.
So when's that shit dropping? I gotta hear it, man.
Dude, it could be tonight. It could be in a week or two. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
That's amazing.
And I honestly am not going to tell you.
Thank y'all so much for listening to episode 37 of the Lost Highway podcast. A song that my dad recently turned me on to was Young at Heart, I believe is a Frank Sinatra song. That might not even be the title of the song, but the idea is to just have a sense of humor, not take all this shit so seriously. So if you're living in a bubble in which that there's a lot of people who are trying to achieve the same thing that you're trying to achieve, like a lot of my friends here in Nashville are, I just want to remind y'all that the internal world matters first, and don't take all this so seriously. Set quantitative goals that are based in real parameters, so you're participating with reality, but then also stay young and make sure to schedule out time to not engage in tasks that are only work-based. That's why I love conversations like this with my friends Ryan and Job and others, is we can just talk about life, talk about Halo, talk about country music, and just enjoy time as it passes. The Earth is moving at over 1,000 miles an hour through this ever-expanding universe, and it's infinitely complex. The music we're listening to today is the Fox on the Run, one of the best bluegrass songs ever written by the Country Gentleman. We listened to Job's song Georgia, one of my favorite songs of his, and then Good Lovin' by the Grateful Dead sometime in 1980, I think in like Providence, Rhode Island. Make sure to follow on Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts. And then also here, check this out. Are you ready? Join us on Patreon. I post relaxing ambient music every weekday to start off your day right. I have messages of me reflecting, trying to stay positive and telling y'all what I'm up to. And then also you can support this podcast directly so we don't have to really talk about a lot of ads during this time. Thank y'all so much. Make sure to stay patient, stay persistent, stay positive. Remind yourself every day of that. And stay cosmic. Catch y'all next time.